Hi, my name is Melissa. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to do a gentle yoga practice. This is going to be an awesome practice for just relaxing, letting go, and getting a great stretch in. If you'd like to grab a couple of props, if you'd like to grab a blanket, maybe a couple of blocks, and a strap. The only prop that you'll definitely need for the practice is a strap, so if you don't have a yoga strap close by, you may just want to grab a belt or a jump rope or maybe a tie even, so just some sort of strap that you can use. We'll be doing a nice stretch for the legs and for the hips using that. As a reminder for yoga, just to listen to your body as we move through the practice. So if anything isn't feeling right in your body or if any pain shows up, that's definitely your body's way of letting you know to come out of that particular stretch. So just kind of back off a little bit and always listen to your body. Today I wanted to start with a centering on our backs, and we'll do a nice centering that'll be a nice way to release the low back. So we'll begin on our backs. You could take a traditional Shavasana posture if you'd like, so that would be with the legs extended and then the arms extended. A nice way to release the back will be to plant the feet, draw your feet to the edges of your yoga mat, and then let your knees rock in towards one another. As you settle in here, maybe tuck your tailbone just a little bit. That will help to lengthen the low back. And then allow for your chin to tuck slightly to help lengthen the back of the neck. Maybe allow for the palms to face up for a gentle rotation through your shoulders. Allow for your eyes to close. We'll start by coming into 3 deep cleansing breaths. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, releasing a sigh. Inhale. And then one more deep cleansing breath. From here, letting the breath return to the natural rise and the natural fall of the breath. Coming into a little bit of a relaxation for the body and for the mind. As you exhale, let go of any tension through the back of the head. Allow for the back of the neck to relax and to release. And then let go of any tension through the shoulders, through the arms, and through the hands. Relax and release the upper, mid, and low back. Let go of tension through the legs and tension through the feet. Bring your awareness to the rise and to the fall of the breath. For a moment here, we'll breathe a nice breath for relaxation. So it's called the 3-part breath, the Dirga Yogic breath. As you inhale, draw your breath into the stomach. Feel the navel rise. As you exhale, feel the navel move back and up towards the spine. Breathe into the stomach, carry the breath into the ribs. On the inhalation, feel the ribs expand through the front body, the back body, the right side, and the left side of the body. As you exhale, feel the ribs float in towards one another. Front ribs and back ribs move in. Right side and left side ribs move in towards one another. Breathe into the stomach, carry the breath into the ribs, and then carry the breath up to the chest, right up to the collarbones. Breathing in, feel your chest rise. Breathing out, feel your chest fall. And allowing for your breath to freely flow to all of the cells throughout your body. And then through our practice, carry your connection to your breath with you. Remember that your breath is there to support you and to guide you through your yoga practice. If you would like, set an intention. And then intention can be anything, maybe to clear the mind of thoughts, to keep the breath freely flowing in and out. Intentions are a nice way to connect us to the practice and to help make the practice our own. We'll begin our practice by moving into a full body stretch. Extend the hands up and overhead. Reach out through the toes, maybe point the toes, maybe flex the feet. Draw the knees up and into the chest. Maybe wrap the arms, wrap the hands around the knees or the shins, and begin to rock from side to side, right to left and left to right. And then drawing your feet to the edges of the mat, the knees will be bent. We'll begin to windshield wipe the knees from side to side. So we're just gonna draw the knees to the right and to the left. And then trying to let go of any tension here through the low back. Allow for the knees to drop to the right. And then allow for your right foot to lift up. The right foot's gonna hook on the left knee. And then the knees will soften to the right side of the room. Try to feel yourself on the inner edge of your left foot. We'll come into a nice stretch here for the IT band on the left side, and then also getting a nice side stretch here. Allow for the eyes to close. Breathe in and breathe out of the stretch. The feet realign to the edges of mat, knees bend. Draw the knees from side to side. As the knees drop off towards the left foot will begin to lift up. Left foot hooks on the right knee, and these will soften to the left as you breathe out. Closing the eyes, observe if the stretch feels very similar on this side of your body to the first side of the body that you worked on. And then also noticing if you can tell where the stretch shows up and what that feels like. Releasing. Feet back to the edges of the mat, knees are bent. Draw the knees from side to side. Warming the body up with a little flow for the legs and for the hips. We'll begin to reach for our strap. We're going to take that strap around the ball of the right foot and then extend your right leg up towards the sky. Left leg can be extended along the mat. You could also bend the knee and plant the foot. So we'll take a moment here and we'll begin to create circles. So maybe finding large circles, maybe finding smaller circles. Whatever feels best through the leg and through the hip. We'll begin to flow in the opposite direction. And then as you circle, just noticing. It may feel very natural to circle in one direction, and then it may feel a little bit unnatural to circle in another direction. As you find stillness here, we'll begin to walk our hands up the strap, encouraging the right leg into the body a little bit. Begin to press out through the heel, press out through the back of the knee. Feel that the right leg is active and energized. Right foot will open off to the right side of the room. And try to feel a groundedness through your left hip. So very common and very easy for that left hip to roll up. So try to feel the hips aligned, feel the low back aligned. Right foot floats through center. Option to straighten that left leg if you'd like. And we'll take our right foot off to the left side of the room. And we'll transition into a little bit of a twist here. So this is a nice release for the low back. And then nice stretch for the side body here, getting into mid-back and getting into the upper back. Realign, moving back onto the back body. Left leg extends up towards the sky. Right foot will meet the left foot. Right foot releases down and begin to create your circles here. As you flow into the stretches on this side of the body, just noticing if the stretch feels very similar on this side of the body to the first side of the body that you worked on. The stretch may also feel very different as you move from side to side. Flow in the opposite direction. As you find stillness here, hands will walk up the strap, encouraging the left leg into the body a little bit. And using your breath, breathe into the hamstring stretch, breathe into the calf stretch. Left foot will open off to the left side of the room, so we'll take that inner leg stretch. Feeling that groundedness, feeling that weightedness through both of the backbones, the nice alignment through the low back. Flows through center. And we'll take that left foot off to the right side of the room. So we'll come into a twist here. And so breathing into the twist through the stomach, through the torso. Breathing in, breathing out deeply. We'll begin to realign. Extend the leg back up towards the sky, and we'll release the strap from the foot. Take feet back to the edges of the mat. Knees will be bent, and begin to rock from side to side. Knees move up and into the chest, arms wrap around knees or shins, and we'll begin to rock and roll through the spine. So that means rolling up the spine and rolling down the spine. So we'll begin to do that a few times. We're gonna use a little bit of strength, a little bit of momentum to rise up, and we'll take a seated posture. So maybe on that third or fourth time, you rise up for a seated pose. As you align for a seated posture, maybe cross the legs if that feels comfortable. But you can always extend the legs out in front if you would like. And you could also sit on a block if you'd like. That can be a really nice way to modify your seated posture. As you exhale, draw your chin into the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Allow for your head to roll to the right. We'll take a gentle side stretch, a gentle neck stretch. Flow back through center. Allow for your head to move off towards the left. We'll flow back through center. Taking a moment here, we'll begin to circle the head from side to side. So nice, gentle movement here. Getting into the sides of the neck, the front and the back of the neck. Try to let go of any tension that you might be holding onto. Flow in the opposite direction. And then as you circle, just noticing if there's any spots that feel sensitive or maybe feel a little bit tender. And then releasing. We'll realign through the back of the neck, circling the torso for a moment. So this is going to be a nice stretch to get into the low back, to get into the mid and get into the upper back. Maybe close the eyes here, find movement through the shoulders, finding movement through the head and through the neck. And then remembering that there's no right, there's no wrong way to move. So just moving in a nice organic movement that feels good for your body. As you come into stillness here, we'll flow in the opposite direction. As you feel your body moving, as you shift the weight to the right, maybe feel your left sitting bone lifting up, lifting off of the mat. As you find stillness here, we'll realign through the spine. Draw your left hand off to the right knee. So we're going to cross that arm over. Take a big breath in here. Sweep your right hand up and over, and we'll come into a side stretch. Try to feel your right sitting bone grounded down. Lengthen through the whole right side of the body, through the arm, through the fingertips. Rising up. Left hand will stay where it is. Right hand moves to the left knee so that the arms will be crossed. As you exhale, take your chin into the chest, round through the spine. Maybe imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Right hand will stay where it is. Left hand begins to extend up and over. And then maybe feel your left shoulder rolling back just a little bit. Feel that your heart is moving up towards the sky. Realign through the spine. Right hand stays where it is. Left hand off to that right knee. So arms are crossed in opposite direction this time. Draw your chin to your chest as you exhale, round through your back body. And then really rounding here, let go of any tension through the back of the neck, through the back of the head. To release, hands will begin to sweep out to the sides of the room. We'll draw the hands into prayer above the head. Hands will move to the heart as you exhale. Big breath in, hands extend up, so reach up, stretch up, and release. And then flowing with your breath for a moment. Maybe close the eyes. Feel your body linking breath and movement in the moment. As you draw your hands into prayer at the heart space, circle in the opposite direction. We'll begin to take the fingertips up, send the arms out and around. And then finding your flow here for a moment. As you release the hands, right hand will ground down onto the mat. Left hand extends up and over, so we'll take a little bit of a side stretch. Breathing here, expand through the lungs, expand through the ribs. Deep, full breath in, deep, full breath out. And then rising up, spine will realign. Left hand will lower. Right hand reaches up and over. As you stretch the fingertips to the left side of the room, maybe imagining finding space through the ribs. And then releasing. We'll begin to realign through the spine, transitioning into a tabletop from here. As you come into table, you may want to grab a blanket to support the knees. We'll begin to take the knees, the hips in line. We'll also feel that the wrists and we'll feel that the shoulders are in line. Feel the fingers fan wide. Press down through all the parts of the hands. Ground through the pointer finger and ground through your thumb. Allow for your right knee to move into fire hydrant, and we'll begin to create circles here. Maybe finding large circles, maybe finding smaller circles. Whatever feels best through the leg and through the hip. Flow in the opposite direction. Right foot will begin to gorilla kick off to the right side of the room. So So just come into a nice stretch here for the legs and for the hips. Right foot will lower down onto the mat to the side of the body. We'll begin to rise up onto the knee and the foot. So this is a variation of a gate pose, Parigasana. Big breath in here. Hands extend to the sky into prayer. Hands to the heart space as you exhale. Inhale and exhale. We'll take that one more time with a breath. Big breath in and release. Right hand will glide down the right leg. Left hand extends up and over for a side stretch. And then flowing up. Left hand will lower down, so you could always grab a block here if you would like. Right hand reaches to the sky. We'll pause here. This is a variation of a side plank, Vashisthasana. Couple modifications here. So option to stay here if you would like a deeper stretch. Maybe lift the leg. And there's also a variation to reach back for the foot if you'd like, and create a sensation of kicking the foot into the hands. Releasing the foot down, engage the core to rise up. So we'll rise back onto the knee and the foot. Hands to the top of the mat. We'll move towards a C curve for the spine. Right foot will sweep behind the body and then move it off to the left side of the room. If you would like to deepen your stretch, draw your hands to the left and then gaze off your left shoulder. Releasing. We'll realign. We'll come back to our tabletop. As you find table, we'll just take some C curves through the spine here. Gaze off your left shoulder. We'll realign the spine. Gaze off the right shoulder. And then realign. We'll take that one more time to both sides. As you align back for table, ground through the hands, ground through the right knee, left knee returns to fire hydrant, and begin to find your circles here. So try to feel an even groundedness through both of the hands. Very easy to dump the weight off into that right shoulder and right hand. So try to feel even weight in that left hand. Flow in the opposite direction. Left foot begins to gorilla kick off to the left side of the room. So we're going to flex the foot, press through the heel, the back of the knee. Foot begins to lower down. We'll rise up onto the knee and the foot. Breathing in here. Hands extend up, hands into prayer, and then hands to your heart. Circling in the opposite direction from here. So we'll just take a little different shoulder stretch. Hands stretch up and arms move out and around. Inhale and exhale. One more time with the breath. Hands begin to release. Left hand glides down the left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Releasing. We'll float up through the spine. Right hand will lower. You may want to grab your prop here, grab your block here to support the hand. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. And then for that deeper stretch, maybe lifting the leg if you would like. Maybe take the hands to meet the foot if you would like. Breathe into the back bend. Breathe into the quad stretch, into the hip flexor and psoas stretch. Letting that go. Grounding down through your left foot. Rising up, hands to the top of the mat. Left foot will sweep behind the body, moving off to the right side of the room. And then gazing off that right shoulder, Maybe walking your hands to the right a little bit to deepen the stretch. To release. We'll realign. We'll come back into table. Child's pose as you exhale. Couple of options in child's pose. Knees can be together. Big toes to touch, knees apart, and then folding down. So this is going to help to give a nice leg stretch and a nice hip stretch. If you'd like, you can have knees together. This is going to help to give an opening for the back body. So folding down as you exhale. Moving forward into table. And then as you align in tabletop, preparing for down dog for a moment. In downward facing dog, curl your toes under, backs of legs will lengthen, draw your sitting bones up towards the sky. Allow for movement here, maybe bend one knee, bend the other knee. Allow for your head to relax, yes. Allow for your head to relax, no. As you find stillness here, toes to the hands, we'll begin to draw the feet forward. So we'll come into a forward fold. And then maybe finding movement here also. Maybe bend one knee, bend the other. Maybe head relaxes, yes, and head relaxes, no. And you can always modify in forward fold. You can take a nice deep bend in the knees. You could have your hands onto blocks too. That can be a really nice way to support the body. As you find stillness here, we'll draw our fingertips off to the right. So we'll take a gentle side stretch in our forward fold. Coming back through center. Fingertips will move off to the left. And then releasing. As you align back into our forward fold, we'll take a flat back here, halfway lift. Fold forward as you exhale. Big breath in. Hands extend up towards the sky into prayer. We'll draw the hands into the heart space as you breathe out. Letting the hands release. We'll take a breath in here. Draw the shoulders up, back, and down. 2 more times with the breath. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. Hands move into prayer at hearts. Moving into crane, we'll work a little bit with balanced postures. We'll start by having the toes out in front of the body. Toes can stay on the ground for support. You could also have your foot on a block if you'd like. Maybe draw your leg to a 90-degree angle. And then maybe take the arms out into T with soft wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Finding your drishti, finding that one spot to focus your concentration, to focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift at all. Hands will release, right foot releases. As you ground down through that right foot, left foot will begin to lift, and we'll try crane on the other side. Try to feel a groundedness through all the parts of the right foot. Ground through the inside, through the outside, through the 4 ball mounds. And then notice your body's natural tendency. If you tend to roll to the inside, maybe rolling to the outside of the standing foot. Hands will release, left foot grounds down. Feel your feet in line with your hips. Inhale, hands extend up for steeple. Fingers will interlock, release the index fingers. Take a breath here to lengthen. Hands to the right as you exhale. So we'll take that nice lateral side stretch for the spine. Feel your left hip pressing to the left side of the room, deepening the side stretch. We'll flow up, spine will realign. Hands to the left as you breathe out. And then maybe feel that left hand almost pulling the right hand to the left a little bit. So giving that deeper stretch. Release. We'll realign through the spine. Hands into the heart space as you exhale. Right foot will begin to lift and we'll work with tree. We'll come into Vrikshasana. And on tree pose, you can have your toes on the ground for support. We just want to avoid placing the foot right onto the knee joint. So you can take the foot below the knee or above the knee. Maybe extend the hands to the sky if that feels okay through the shoulders. Allow for your tailbone to tuck. Feel yourself reach from the low back. Imagine creating space between the vertebrae. And then feel the vertebrae moving one on top of the other. Lengthen the back of the neck. Reach out through the crown of the head. Hands will release. Right foot releases, grounding through that right foot. Left foot will lift up. And we'll try our tree on the other side. Allow for your left knee to roll towards the back of the room a little bit. So that's going to give a nice stretch for the inner leg, a nice stretch for the hip. And then it's really common for the left hip to roll up quite a bit. So maybe feel that left hip roll down slightly. Try to feel the low back in line. Feel the hips in line. Hands will release. Left foot grounds down. Take a big breath in here. Hands extend to the sky into prayer. Hands to the heart space as you exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And we'll take that one more time with the breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Circle in the opposite direction. Draw the fingertips up, let the arms stretch out and around. Letting the hands release. We'll draw the hands back into prayer at the heart space. Working a little bit with a warrior 3 pose, we'll come into a balanced warrior. We'll start by drawing the right foot back a bit. So you can have your toes on the ground to start for that support. Maybe lift that leg, maybe try to draw your heel in line with your hip. Maybe gaze down to the ground. Allow for the back of the neck to be long. Feel the crown of the head as a natural extension of your spine. And then also trying to create that long line of energy flowing from the right heel to the crown of the head. Engage your core to rise up. So we're going to take that right foot to meet the left foot. As you ground through the right foot, left foot will float back. And we'll give it a go on the other side. Core engaged here. Tailbone tucks. Feel the navel move back and up towards the spine. And then releasing. We'll take left foot to meet the right foot. Grounding through the feet. Feet will move wider than the hips, and we'll work a little bit with an empty coat sleeve stretch. We'll sweep the arms from side to side. And this is a nice gentle release for the low back, for the arms, for the hips. As you align your body in stillness here, take the feet together. So we'll draw the soles of the feet to touch. Hands at prayer at heart space. We'll take a breath in here, Utkatasana chair pose. Draw the hips back and down. If it feels okay through the shoulders, maybe extend the hands up towards the sky. Maybe feel your toes lifting from the mat a little bit. Weight moves back into the heels here. Allow for lightness through the toes. Maybe gaze down. Make sure that you can see the tips of the toes. We want to make sure that the knees aren't moving too far forward here. We'll release the hands. We'll draw one hand to the heart, one to the navel, and then straighten the legs, and we'll pause for a moment. Letting the eyes close. Maybe feel your heart beating. Connect to the life force, connect to the energy inside of your body. And then also feel your body reacting to each breath. As you breathe in, feel your chest rise. As you breathe out, feel your chest fall. Allowing for your breath to freely flow to all of the cells throughout your body. Breathing in here, hands will extend up towards the sky. Working a little bit with a gentle shoulder stretch, the right hand will begin to move down the back body, and then that left hand will guide the elbow into the stretch. Really easy to round through the spine here, so just try to stay lifted through the collarbones and through the heart space. Breathing in, breathing out deeply. Hands will extend up, reach out through the fingertips. Left hand works down the back body, right hand guides you into the stretch. Maybe notice here, observe if the stretch feels very similar on this side of the body to the first side of the body that we worked on. And then releasing. Hands will extend up, and then we'll release the hands down. Sending the hands out in front, we'll take a little bit of a shoulder stretch here, so that right arm's gonna cross the body, right hand's gonna move off to the left side of the room. And then just breathing into the opening through the back body. Breathe into that shoulder stretch. And then releasing, hands will release, left hand reaches to the right side of the room, and allow for that right arm to guide you into the stretch. So using the hand or using the arm for support. Letting that go. We'll take a breath in here. Inhale, hands extend up. Exhale, forward folds. We'll take half lift here, flat back. Plant the hands, we'll step back and take a plank pose. And knees can always lower for a modification in plank. Moving for a variation of Sphinx, we'll lower all the way down to the ground. Use your arm strength, use your shoulder strength to help you lower down. So in this variation of Cobra, let's take the hands in line with we'll take the hands in line with the shoulders. Fingertips are in line with the tops of the shoulders, and then pinkies are in line with the deltoids. Glue the tops of the feet down onto the mat, tuck your tailbone down, and then just try to lift to the navel. So we don't want to lift too high on this one. This is going to be great for strengthening the mid-back. Feel your elbows hug into the sides of the body. Try to open through the collarbones. And then using a lot of the back strength here, almost creating a sensation like the hands could lift off of the mat. We'll lower down as you exhale. Take a breath in here. Press back to child's pose as you breathe out. We'll come back to Garbhasana. Taking our resting posture for a moment. And then rising up into table. From table, draw your feet to the top of the mat. We'll move on to our sitting bones. And then moving on to our backs from here. So as you come down onto your back, reach for the feet. We'll take a happy baby stretch. So we're gonna reach for the feet, flex the feet, press out through the heels. Maybe rock side to side, maybe finding stillness here. Draw the knees into the chest. Knees will move to the right and we'll set up for a spinal twist. So we're just gonna drop the knees to the right. Maybe gaze up towards the sky. Maybe gaze off that left shoulder too. So we're just gonna close the eyes here. Breathing in, breathing into that gentle twist. Begin to release. We're going to realign through the spine. Hug the knees up and into the chest, and then draw your knees off towards the left. Again, gazing up towards the sky, maybe gazing off that right shoulder. Letting the eyes close here. And then try to release the thoughts. We always have thoughts moving through the mind, thoughts from the past, thoughts for the future. Try to release the thoughts. Bring the awareness to the present breath. Bring the awareness to the present moment. Releasing. We'll realign back onto the back body. We'll take that happy baby stretch one last time. So nice stretch for legs and hips, and then also great stretch for the low back. From here, we'll move into Shavasana. We'll come into our resting pose of our practice. So just how you began your yoga practice today. So you can have that traditional posture if you would like. You could also bend the knees, plant the feet, maybe let the knees move in towards one another a little bit. Allow for the eyes to close here. Feel the tailbone tuck. Lengthen the low back. Feel the chin tuck slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. Maybe feel the palms facing up, so gentle rotation through the shoulders. And then in this time, in Shavasana, trying to clear the mind of thoughts. Allow for your body to be free of any tension. Allow for the breath to deepen. Maybe wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. And then moving to your side, we'll take a fetal posture for a moment. And then moving into a comfortable seated posture as we end our yoga practice. So as you find that seated pose, legs can be crossed or you can extend the legs out in front of your body. Maybe sit on a block or a blanket if you would like. Draw your hands into the heart space, into prayer, into Anjali Mudra. And taking a moment here, saying something kind to yourself. Something encouraging, something uplifting. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.